Who do you beat? Miami Dolphins against non-playoff teams, 5-game winning streak. Play playoff teams, 3-game losing streak. And I bring up Miami because Green Bay just beat 7 losses in a row Chicago, and now the rebuilding Rams. Now they go to Miami. I think Miami's going to beat at home, extra rest. Remember, they played Saturday. Packers played Monday night. Smart offensive coach, lots of weapons. Everybody's bailing on the Dolphins. You guys are bums. I'm going to take Miami to end the playoff hopes and the season essentially for Green Bay on Christmas. Even if they win that game, it's Minnesota and Detroit at home. Those are good teams now. Those are playoff teams. Detroit feels like a playoff team. Green Bay season's over. Beating the Bears, beating the Rams doesn't mean squat. In this league, it's who do you beat. Cincinnati's beating real teams. Okay, that's why we think highly of Cincinnati. Kansas City, Buffalo's beating real teams. San Francisco. So 2 days extra prep. Miami's going to beat Green Bay. The question now is, let's look ahead for the Packers. Let's be grown-ups here. Take off the cheese hat for 15 minutes. What's next for the Packers? Here's the good news. Aaron Rodgers seemed totally engaged last night. Totally into it. They've got 2 ascending, promising young star receivers, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, like them both. The head coach is capable. I don't think he's elite, but he's capable. It's not a mess. And it's a stable organization. Now, I won't even call it bad news. Let's just talk truth. They're up against the cap. The defense will be the 4th most expensive in the league. Aaron Rodgers is super expensive. The defense is underachieving. Free agents don't choose Green Bay. So if they had space, and they have very little, OBJ said no thanks, chose L.A. over Green Bay despite Aaron Rodgers. J.J. Watt from Wisconsin admitted after choosing Arizona, lifestyle matters. Increasingly in big, flashy cities like Los Angeles are very attractive to great players. J.J. Watt admits this. Lifestyle, as entertainment and sports converge, having no owner, being in small Green Bay is not an asset. It is a liability going forward. Aaron, by the way, more reality. This is not bad news. It's reality. Aaron is no longer the most talented quarterback in the league, which he was for about 8 to 10 years. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, athletically just better. Burrow is just better. The division is much tougher. Again, the defense is incredibly average and wildly expensive. So what does Green Bay do? My solution is one that's going to make Green Bay very uncomfortable. I know Aaron keeps talking about retirement, but he looks engaged to me. And with 2 ascending stars at wide receiver, the Packers need to go 100% all in on Aaron. First pick, 15th, 16th, 17th in the first round. Go get a wide receiver, Jordan Addison, USC, to go along with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. Second pick, go get a tight end. There's about 4 great ones in college. Utah's got one. Kincaid, go get him. Third pick, more offensive line or another receiver. Trade some of the defensive parts. Go more into offense. I'm not sure how easy it would be to trade Jair Alexander. You gave him an extension. He could be a difficult guy, dead cap money, blah, blah, blah. You got to go all in. The league is pivoted. Aaron appears to be engaged. He's going to talk about retirement. But the Packers have tried so hard, have been exhaustingly focused on stability and the future. They're now trapped in the present. You can't fire Matt LaFleur, and he's not elite. You're trapped with him. Aaron's contract feels like you're kind of trapped with him. Jair Alexander, your best defensive player, very expensive, kind of trapped with him. Not having a great year, still a very good player. A lot of trap. Your defense, you have no cap space. You're kind of trapped. So all of a sudden you start looking. Your whole thing was, we don't want to be loose. We want to be solid. We want to have stability. But you're kind of trapped with a lot of stuff. So the solution is get uncomfortable. Give Aaron what he wants for the next 2 years. Because I got news for you. You're not going Favre to Aaron Rodgers to a Trevor Lawrence. Go ask the Bears. Go ask Denver. Go ask Miami. Doesn't work that way. Andrew Luck worked replacing Peyton Manning for a few years, but because they put nothing around him, he got knocked out of the league. It's going to be a dark winter. You're going to have 10 of them. So you got about 2 years left with Aaron Rodgers. You found him 2 ascending young, very, very promising wide receivers. Go get him 2 more. Go give up some defense. Get him more veteran receivers. Just be an offensive franchise. Stop worrying about stability and protecting the future. Screw the future. Win now. Now. The future doesn't look promising. You're not going to replace Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to find another Aaron. A junior college guy goes to Cal, falls in the first round, and for 10 years is the most talented guy in the league. It's not going to work that way. It's over. You got to go all in on Aaron Rodgers. They're still alive. I think they'll lose at Miami or Minnesota. Detroit beat them at home. But it's time to stop worrying about the future. Take the Dockers off. Buy some leather pants. Be a little risky. Be uncomfortable. Go to a nightclub. All in on Aaron because he's still really good. He's going to play for 2 more years, and he won't want to leave if you get him another Christian Watson. Those guys are good. They're fun. Offensive line's fine. Aaron Jones is good. Make Aaron happy. Bears-Rams, nonetheless, just tilt the field now to make Aaron happy. I know. He may just retire on you. Okay, either way, you're in big trouble. If he retires now, he retires in 2 years. Because if Jordan Love could play, he'd be gone. He can't. At least he can't play to that level. All right, let me shift to this. Oh, boy, Jets talk. Some blame shifting going on in New York. Now, as you know, I had real reservations about hiring an unproven defensive coach and then giving him a quarterback, second pick, small, little cowboy in him I wasn't in love with. So far, I'm right on the quarterback. Could be wrong eventually, but right on the quarterback. Saleh, I'm not sure, but he's falling into this trap of shifting blame, being hyperbolic, pretending it didn't happen. He's completing 50% of his throws. That's not nitpicking. Coach, you benched him. Coach, his teammates wore shirts supporting his backup. Find me the comps in the NFL for awful the first 2 years and amazing in year 3. And do not give me Josh Allen. Josh Allen in year 2 at 6'6", 250 was leaping over players and had 6 games of 100 passer rating or more. With a bad O-line. Bad O-line. And Stephon Diggs wasn't in town that first year. I don't think he was in town his second year. But you saw greatness. Zach Wilson's had 1 game passer rating over 100, struggling to complete 52% of his throws. His teammates are wearing Mike White shirts, supporting Mike White. You benched him. This is called blame shifting. Here's the other thing. Thanksgiving year 2. The world's changed. I hope defensive coaches get this. But there was a time, and you know, have you ever gone back and watched like a 1950 or 60s show? It's really funny. I grew up with a show called Leave It to Beaver. And when you watch the show, all the parents do is complain about the children. Kids always see the world differently than their parents do. Kids today are smarter than ever, kinder than ever, ascending faster than ever. Kids are fine. The media's fine. Somebody told you it was fake news. What's fake is pretending this isn't a mess and Zach Wilson isn't failing. Because we've all seen it now. These kids come into the pros and our standards should be harder because they have 10,000 snaps by the time they get to their sophomore year. It used to be you give a quarterback 3 full years. Now it's Thanksgiving year 2. And that's the way it should be. Mahomes, we saw it instantly. Lamar, we saw it instantly. Herbert, we saw it first game. Josh Allen, middle year 2. Not even middle year 2, beginning of year 2. Wow, he's jumping over people. Kyler, third game. Cam Newton, I was never a fan of. First game, you saw, wow. We're past Thanksgiving year 2. I see, not wow. So this is a lot of blame shifting. The really smart coaches in this league. Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl. McVay moved off him. Garoppolo got to a Super Bowl. They drafted a quarterback. The smart offensive coaches are not sitting around waiting for 3 years for you to show us glimpses of excellence. I hope Zach Wilson makes it. Believe it or not, I'd love to be wrong. It's fun to have a New York team that's relevant. They never are for the last decade. I would love to see them relevant. And I never root against kids. He's got a good arm. A little bit too much Johnny Manziel cowboy for me, but got a good arm. But the idea that we are just an instant coffee society, no, we're not. The culture's changed. Quarterbacks are better sooner. Good God, Lamar's first year of starting, he won MVP. Mahomes' first year of starting. He's bringing home awards, Super Bowls. So that's not an instant coffee society. That is how football has changed. I'm concerned that a defensive coach doesn't get it. Like, that's the new rule. Thanksgiving, year 2. You got to 20 starts in. You got to show me something. And so far, I see a guy that's highly dependent on the spectacular and can't hit layups. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.